Weekend Huddle on this beautiful Saturday morning right here in Nashville's Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. Good morning, everyone. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on this fine Saturday morning. Let's see how many times I can say Saturday morning in the next 2 minutes. I'm just kidding. We are broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Good morning, Nick Frazier.
Good morning, Connor Newt.
How are you?
Fantastic. I kind of fell asleep in the second period of the Preds game. We'll get to that in here in a second. But feeling refreshed. Woke up probably around 2:30, 3:30. And I was telling Christian, before the show, I was craving pancakes this morning. I don't know what it was. And so stopped by MacD's and got our little hotcakes.
Good old Matt. I was about to ask you, was our girl working today? But that's Duncan.
No, that's Duncan. Yeah. I haven't seen her in a while. I wonder if she's doing okay. Maybe that's a next Saturday delivery.
I hope so.
Yeah. Super nice. Always gives me the baker's dozen.
I'm glad you showed up to the show with shoes today.
Thank you. Yeah, I text you both. I was like, we have an issue. I literally was driving outside of my neighborhood and got to the first stoplight, and I was like, why is my big toe on the gas pedal?
You had no socks?
No, I had socks on. It's just like you can feel where your big toe is.
Well, I told you. I was like, if you showed up barefoot, we'd get listeners. They'd all be interesting people, but we'd get a lot more listeners.
You got that right. So minus all the morning chaos, we're fantastic. How are you, Connor Newt?
I'm doing well. I'm riding exhaustion, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. I've been on the afternoon show the past 2 days. Plus, I was up late I was pulling double duty yesterday. So
yeah.
A nice nap is in my future today.
Great job, by the way, on the afternoon.
Thank you.
The Chad Withrow interview was really good as well.
Thank you.
Elliot Friedman was a really good interview to add on to that. So done a really good job in the afternoons.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This isn't me fishing for a compliment or anything.
No. I'm just simple as that. We've both been on the air a lot this past week.
Yeah, you have as well. I listened to you with Chase yesterday. Sounded good. And here's the best part. You and me, Monday.
Exactly.
9 to 12. How's that sound?
I love it. It's an extension of Saturdays.
All right. Christian Skelton, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. Doing great. Thank you, Frazier, for the pancakes. That was tremendous. I'd never had a McDonald's pancake before. That was my first sample.
How?
I don't know. I was telling him most of the time McDonald's, my go-to's biscuit of some kind with hash browns. I never really think to get the pancakes, but they were good. Solid pancakes. I can't complain.
Let's spend our 2 minutes on this game that we're going to today. Probably the only time we talk about this today. You and I are enemies.
Yes, we are. I don't expect it to be very good basketball, as you probably do not either.
It will not be very good basketball. I can promise you that.
Does it make church league basketball look better?
Yes.
That might be a little bit of a stretch, but it'll be comparable, I would say. Comparable.
It'll be.
What were we talking about before the over-under's what, like 145.5 or something like that?
Yeah,
hammer the under. If you want free money today, folks, this is not a betting show, obviously, and this is not legal gambling advice, but if you want free money today, hammer the under on Kentucky, Tennessee, total.
We say that, and it's going to end like 98-96.
In triple overtime, like the A&M game was. Well, I guess that was double overtime, but yeah.
It was double, pal.
Goodness gracious.
All right, so let's start first, let me tell you what we got planned today. We got a big show. We're going to talk a lot today. NFL playoffs. We'll milk the cow that is the Titans head coaching search as much as we can.
A little bit of news.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later on. Newt's Notes at 9:45. The weekend poll is out, and this is a very important one. I need as much help as possible. Our question today, what is your opinion on the sport of professional wrestling? It's not a real sport. I'm just inside joke. You guys are disappointing me so far in the voting. It's a very important question. Simple answers. 2 answers. 1, I absolutely love it. 2, I hate it. It's fake. And I am not in favor of the way the voting is going. So I may have to cut a shoot promo in about an hour. But you still got an hour to vote. Got a lot of votes. And I need your help. Please go vote on our Twitter. It is pinned. So hopefully Kim doesn't come for my soul. But I spoke with the tribal chief, and he said it was okay for me to pin it. So there we go. We begin today's conversation with Nashville's hockey team. Massive win last night. And it wasn't just a fake score. The Preds win 7-3 over the NHL's best Colorado Avalanche, giving them their first loss in regulation at home in Colorado. Just unbelievable play from the Predators yesterday. Ryan O'Reilly with a hat trick in the second period. Philip Forsberg with a score. Steven Stamkos, Michael McCarron with empty net goals. I mean, what worked for the Predators last night?
Just a quick offensive attack. I think crashing the net was something, but just a creativity around the net. I mean, we saw Roman Josi and Steven Stamkos just cycle the puck a lot when they were out there on the ice, and that's something that we've been seeing from this Preds team the last couple of games. We saw it against Edmonton. We definitely saw it right before the New Year's when they took on Vegas. So there's certain qualities about this team that's starting to click on all cylinders.
Yeah, it looked like a competent hockey team. I don't want to say it looked as good as it did 10 years ago because that's an all-time high, but it's a team that's starting to look competitive and starting to look like they can actually make some noise in the playoffs. They just took down two of the top teams in the NHL and in the West, for that matter, in Edmonton and Colorado. Now they got another test tonight against Vegas, but the way they're playing is quick, fast, offensive hockey, kind of what we were led to believe was going to happen when you hire Andrew Brunette. Now it looks like they're finally, after all this time, starting to get a hold of the system. The veterans are starting to play like the veterans. Steven Stamkos is playing like Steven Stamkos again. And that's not all. The young guys, I think, are starting to click. Luke Evangelista played very well yesterday. Michael McCarron played very well. And in talking with Elliot Friedman this week, that's a guy that I think can attract some, what am I looking for here? Some buyers.
Trade partners
at the deadline. I wouldn't necessarily consider selling him, but that's a guy that could generate some interest. And for the right price, I would consider moving off of him just to increase your draft revenue or get a nice young prospect or something like that. You'd be surprised how valuable a guy with that size and that kind of play, gets. So I'm really a fan. And let's UC Saros. I mean, 36 saves last night, gave up 3 goals, but I mean, I think that's kind of excusable when you're defending Nathan McKinnon and Marty Natchez and Cale Makar, all of these top prospects. They're not prospects anymore.
Top perennial players.
Yeah, these are elite level players in the NHL, and you managed to get 36 saves off of them and a win. So kudos to the Predators. Hockey is finally fun again in Nashville. And we're going to have a conversation about this later in the show. Are the Predators closer to being championship Stanley Cup contenders or initiating a rebuild? I think there's good arguments on both sides. So we'll have that conversation here pretty shortly. But I just wanted to highlight the win. What a win it was last night. What a way the Predators are playing right now. They've won over 2/3 of their last about 25 games. So they're playing good hockey. It's been this way since November. I have a feeling the ticket in Bridgestone is going to start to get a lot hotter.
Yeah, that price is going to slowly escalate. And looking at this Preds team, especially last night, I don't want to be too critical about things because I'm not the guy to do that. But the fact that anytime Brady Shea's on the ice, it just seems out of those 3 goals, 2 of them, I wouldn't say he was held responsible for, but he was on the ice for those.
Yeah.
I feel like could have been preventable. One for sure could have been preventable.
The first one.
Yeah. The second one was a little bit more on a crosshatch of just a block. But it's frustrating to see the lack of production a little bit out of Brady Shea. He's still supplementing play out there on the ice.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but a little bit more out of him.
But that's what's interesting. I think the other defensemen for the Predators have been playing really well. Roman Josi is coming back into his own, it looks like. The one I've really been impressed with, Nick Blankenburg. That's a guy that just does his job. I like the way he plays. I like his size. I like his aggressiveness towards the puck. And he always just seems to deliver. Like he gets good stops on defense, and sometimes he contributes on offense. And he's a fun player. I don't know if you were to flip him to another team if his value would be the same as it is here.
No, not at all. I think those are the young guys you kind of want to really grab onto and just say, hey, we're here for the long haul type thing. But, he was with Adam Wilsby before the injury, correct?
Yeah.
So those two are really catching form. And I think last night, you make a great point, Connor. I think Blankenberg kind of compensated for the lack of having Willsby on the ice and whoever his D partner was. So, again, this Preds team, I think the chemistry is there. Even Barry Trotz spoke on it this past Tuesday when he went on with DVD, talking about the locker room chemistry, saying that was, just reiterating what the words were for reporters. That's a bunch of bull. But the fact that he's been consistent with his word, stayed on track, shows you there is a direction and path that this team can make a playoff push.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. Our phone and text line is driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. 4372 says, so Nick Saban takes an ownership stake in the Predators and they start winning. Coincidence? I would fully expect the Nashville Predators to be competing in Atlanta for an SEC championship relatively soon.
Yeah, you could say that. I did bring that up to Sean Henry.
Watch out, Kirby Smart.
2 weeks ago, I said, so you guys did this on purpose before the 7-game away trip? You brought up Nick Saban, and that was about it. He goes, yeah, we try to calculate it that way. So, I mean, look, anything Nick Saban touches, you could say turns to gold. Literally for the Preds, it does turn to gold. So.
One of the greatest pictures of all time, by the way, is I think it's during the Cup run, actually. It's him and Miss Terry in their driveway, and Nick is just in the all-white Preds away sweater, just smiling away. I'm like, where was this all of my life? Why is this just now coming out?
There are a lot of football personalities that are big Preds fans. I think Dak Prescott had a few Preds games way back in the day.
George Kittle,
obviously, the connection with Philip Forsberg, probably will be at a lot of these games later on in the season because of his injury that happened in the playoffs. So.
Well, he does that anyway.
Yeah,
as soon as the season's over.
His place is super nice, by the way.
You been?
No, I've just seen it online, and a friend of mine knows him through another friend.
Yeah.
So they've sent me pictures.
You know a football personality that doesn't care about the Titans?
Who's that?
A current quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, Will Levis. Did you see this picture?
Is this the Anaheim?
Yes. He was over in Anaheim with the Ducks in a Ducks jersey. And I guess he lives out there or something. But
yeah,
I mean, if that's not a screw you to Nashville, I don't know what is.
I think he's been rehabbing out in California.
Yeah.
He's also been to a Sacramento Kings basketball game as well.
But it's weird.
Yeah. Maybe he loves the West Coast life. Maybe that's the case. And maybe the Titans find a suitor out West when it comes to trading Will Levis eventually, if that is the case. But, hearing Borgonzi's comments earlier a couple weeks ago saying, Will Levis will be a part of this team next year. Not sure what capacity that is.
He will until they find a trade partner.
Right. So we'll see in due time. But look, if his surgery was okay from his shoulder because of that giant crater he had, in his throwing arm, we'll see what happens.
It's all right. Nash took care of that anyway. So
yeah, Nash ratioed the ratio. It was fantastic. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Coming up next, a little bit of news to get to on the Titans head coaching front. A certain candidate may be headed elsewhere. That is not here in Nashville. We'll get to that on the other side right here on the Weekend Huddle. Let me try my name again. My words are not wording today. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on this Saturday morning on 102.5 The Game. You know, you guys were talking about a concert you'd go see just to hear one song. This would be up there for me. Great movie, too. Guardians of the first one.
Just watched it the other night.
I know.
It's a great rewatch.
I know. That's why you're playing this.
Yes, this is a habit of mine.
I'm going to have some song recommendations for you coming up.
Sounds good.
Don't worry.
I got you.
You will enjoy them. Welcome back into the Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you, taking you through all sports, I guess would be the word I'm trying to say on this
Sports
Saturday.
would be our
Sports!
Topic.
Yes!
Football!
It's just like Pat McAfee, where they do their random...
Or Scott Hansen.
Yeah.
Football!
I wonder what he's doing today.
Kicking his feet up on the couch.
And not peeing.
Yeah, I've heard about that. 7 to 8 hours of just...
So he just doesn't drink for like 2 days, I've heard.
Wow.
And then that's how he gets through.
That's got to be bad for your overall health.
He eats like a very specific breakfast that morning too, of where it's like very minimal. Like I will not pee for 8 hours. I don't know really how he does
it. Or do the other thing.
Yes, the other thing as well.
That would be my fear if I was on that show. Is you know how I operate.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't last.
Which I mean, I feel like there are cases where like they send it to other games, but he doesn't really say. He could definitely go if he really needed to. They send it to other games without him saying anything all the time. Like,
do you think he has like a cup underneath his podium he stands at?
Possibly. Maybe
You're just gonna hear like water dripping at some point while they're
maybe a milk jug. You never know.
You never know. All right. Speaking of football, let's milk the cow. Get as much as we can out of old Sally, I guess would be what I would say. The Tennessee Titans are searching for a new head coach. We know this. There is a bit of news that has come out for a potential candidate of the Tennessee Titans. Nick Frazier, would you care to regale us with this tale?
Sure. Adam Schefter put out earlier around 9 o'clock today that Kevin Stefanski and the Atlanta Falcons saying that they're trying to get another interview before Sunday when he meets with the Titans is what it says to Schefter here. So the writing seems to be on the wall that Stefanski might be headed to Atlanta.
That's a good hire for them.
Yeah. And
that is bad for the Titans.
Exactly. You look at this for the Titans, you think, well, you try to go after Harbaugh, not happening. You look at this report from Schefter, doesn't seem like Stefanski would be headed towards the Titans. But again, it's just another meeting. It doesn't mean that, they're going to sign him in some aspects. But at the same time, to me, if you're meeting him for a second time before you're meeting with another team, there's something there.
But they're acting fast so no one else gets it. It's the same thing the Giants did. And I don't throw a lot of the blame for not getting Harbaugh on the Titans. I think it was just a matter of New York got him in the building. They were poised to not let him leave without a contract. They did just that. I think it's as simple as that. It wasn't, well, they acted too slow. It wasn't Amy Adams can't make up her mind. I think it was just as simple as New York got an interview first. They wouldn't let him leave the building. Tough luck.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it works. This one is a little bit different because this would be his second or they're moving up the interview.
Correct. It's their second round of interviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're moving up the interview just so he doesn't interview or he probably still will, but is it in person or virtual?
I believe it would be in person.
That ain't good.
Let's see here.
That ain't good.
Double checking the wording on Schefter's tweet here. Yeah, it just says the second interview. I assume a lot of these second interviews, normally you're dwindling down your candidates, and those are more in person. So that's my assumption is that it's probably going to be in person. It doesn't really say
that's not good
via Schefter, but
that's not good. They're going to do the same thing.
And you look at these candidates and you wonder, the Titans miss out on Harbaugh. They miss out on possibly Stefanski. Where's the urgency?
Right.
They talked about how, and I was telling this to you and Christian during the break, the Titans were adamant in saying, we're going to get on a plane. We're going to offer Harbaugh whatever he's getting offered by New York. And if we need to, we will sign then and there, whatever it may be. The same thing applies here with Stefanski. They're already upping the ante and saying, look, we're going to accelerate the process, interview you before Sunday. Where's the urgency from the Titans? I get you're doing your due diligence and interviewing, 19 candidates, if that's the case, and you're going to dwindle it down to 4 next week. Well, look, if those 4 you're going to interview and one of them is Stefanski, you're down to 3. You're missing out on opportunities to get a true grasp of who you want to interview. And again, it comes back to the point of, did a Rex
Joe.
It comes back to the point of, if I'm a Robert Saleh fan of a candidate, that would possibly mean either it helps them or it doesn't because they're continually in the playoffs.
What I think the problem is here is I think they're too worried about covering all their bases with all 19 candidates instead of focusing on specifically what they want. They're too busy fact finding. They're too busy looking for, well, this guy's got this trait and this guy's got this trait. We need to find someone that has this trait. Just find the guy. All right. I think things are going to start moving a little bit quickly here once they start getting the second round of interviews in. But at the same time, people are acting fast. You saw New York do it. You're about to see Atlanta do it. I mean, the domino has already fallen. So people are going to start. It's like in the draft. As soon as you draft a quarterback, the run on quarterback starts because everyone wants their guy, right?
Yep.
This is the same thing. As soon as the first coach is hired, and obviously that was John Harbaugh, top of the market, that's the first domino that falls. Next, it's going to be Stefanski. Then Miami is probably going to, or I'm just using them as an example.
Right.
But then, Vegas is going to try and find someone. You got to act fast. You've got to find your guy. And whether that's Stefanski, if you want him that bad, whether that's Robert Saleh, which I'm interested to see how that works if they win today. That'll be
virtual interview.
Virtual.
Because you're still not allowed to interview in person if you're in the playoffs. Yeah.
Can they hire him if he's still in the playoff?
I'll have to double check on that one. I don't recall.
Anyways.
Continue as I try to find that.
You're not the only team looking at him. So that's
right.
Something. But, don't settle is what I'm trying to say. And that's my worry that they're going to settle with Matt Nagy. And look, I have my opinions on Matt Nagy. I'm not like some of these extremist Titans fans that are like, this franchise is going to crash and burn with him as the head coach. No, I don't believe that. I think he might be an okay coach. I just don't know what his ceiling and his floor is. And I'm worried that they're going to make that higher simply based off of a relationship. And that's a factless, baseless assumption that I'm making. Willie pointed that out yesterday. I'm like, you're right. But it is still a concern of mine because I think it's a concern of a lot of people's.
Yeah, it's a concern for me, absolutely, because if you look at, again, and we talked about this off the air, you go interview 19 candidates, and one of those 19 is Matt Nagy. That was one of the first 4 people you interviewed. And you look, again, I'll use it this way. It's looked as a smokescreen to me. And I know we both kind of discussed that if you go hire a guy from the first round of first 4 interviews and you're just interviewing 19 to 18 other candidates and you go back to that one guy, that again, it says you've done your due diligence, but to what degree? Because that to me, it just seems like it's already predetermined. You're just checking off the boxes. That's simple as that. Yeah. That's what frustrates me.
I don't want to say they've brought in too many people because it's very clear that they want to get this hire right. It's very clear that a lot of people's jobs are riding on this. Borgonzi, Brinker. If they don't get this right, they're both gone.
Yeah.
And I think one would be gone before the other, and that's Chad Brinker, because I don't know, quite honestly, what he contributes anymore, but that's okay. They're focused on finding the right guy. I'm worried that they've broadened their horizons too much and bringing in too many people to interview, that they can't just hone in on a couple of people and say, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to move quickly so everyone else doesn't have an opportunity.
Yeah. And they should have done a quicker operation of it. If you're going to do your second interviews, make it quick. Interview your guys. Interview 2 guys virtually a day, if that's the case. And then you can accelerate your second round process quickly. So, I mean, that's where I stand on it. It's frustrating in the fact that, you look at a guy like Kevin Stefanski, who's been a 2-time head coach that has won Coach of the Year, and he's going to another team that could have been you. It could have been you, because more than likely he was going to be in that second interview process, right?
It's a team that borders you.
Right.
And look, they're not a rival. They're not a threat to you. But at the same time, look at the proximity of Nashville to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You were that close. So I am with you. I think the slowness of this process is a little bit frustrating.
It's your phrase. I'll go back to it. It's a 2-3-year-old phrase you brought to this station.
I need to get this on a T-shirt.
What do the Titans do? The Titans will what?
Titan.
Titans will always tighten.
I need to coin that because I hear people take that from me all the time. And I was like, I've been using that for 15 years.
That is a Connor Newt staple, folks. Don't steal it.
Yep. Don't take that from me. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you have thoughts on that. Today, Vanderbilt men's basketball takes on Florida at Memorial Gymnasium with a 1 p.m. tip-off, and the pregame show starts at 12:30 on 1025 The Game. That is a big-time matchup over in Memorial, so make sure you listen to that. Coming up next, we'll discuss the NFL playoffs. Is there any team really left in the field that is head and shoulders above everyone else? I'm not quite sure. Frazier says yes.
Absolutely.
So we'll get to that on the other side. Right here on the Weekend Huddle, Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on 1025 The Game. You're on it today. It's like you found
I appreciate that.
It's like you found my playlist. This is good stuff.
I do what I can.
Yes. Our old producer used to play like Japanese instrumentals of popular songs. I was like, what are we doing here? This is what I want.
That's certainly an interesting choice.
It is.
At each their own.
K-pop?
And he was an interesting person.
Oh, great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Still love him. He's probably listening. But
Yeah.
great
He's
guy.
an avid listener. Loves the show.
Loves the show. Welcome back in. Weekend Huddle here on 1025 The Game. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you. Today's a big day in football. It is the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. We got 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow. The Bills and Broncos in the afternoon slate, and I believe it is the Seahawks 49ers tonight.
Yep. Tonight at 7.
Tonight at 7. Tomorrow, of course, it's the Patriots and the
Texans.
Yep. And the Bears and the Rams.
Yeah, and they cap off the weekend as the Sunday night game, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But looking at the field, and you and I may debate on this, I don't feel that there is a team head and shoulders above the rest in this field. I think it's a very wide open field, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised with any Super Bowl matchup at this point. What say you?
I think there's a hands down favorite of a team, and it's the New England Patriots.
Really?
I really do. Yeah. I think Mike Vrabel knows how to build a team, knows how to rally guys around him. That's what a football coach does. But the fact that they have a quarterback in Drake May, and Tim Hasselbeck was first on this, that he is a very, very good quarterback, especially at the next level. And it's been shown. He's proven it. I mean, the fact that he struggled in his rookie year, which he should have, but he learned from that, and he has now accelerated his process under Vrabel. And again, you go and supplement in the draft with the running back and Travion Henderson, who people thought would maybe be a better running back in the passing game. He's been pretty good on the ground as well for them. And let's not forget their tight ends and Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, funny enough.
Yeah, Titan legend.
Those guys have been key contributors on offense as well. I mean, Stephon Diggs, I don't know. Okay, this is a Mike Vrabel specialty. He knows how to handle chaotic wide receivers. AJ Brown, he knew how to handle that situation.
Future New England Patriot.
You look at Stephon Diggs, he knows how to handle that situation. It's just there's certain key things in a head coach you look for, and that's a quality that New England got out of Vrabel. And
that's because he's a no-nonsense guy.
Yeah, he doesn't put up with that stuff.
Exactly.
So if we're looking at teams, that's one of the AFC I like. In the NFC, I was talking to you before the show about it. I think the San Francisco 49ers are going back to the Super Bowl.
Really?
I do.
With all those injuries?
I don't care if they got a quarterback on one leg.
Yeah.
I don't care if Christian McCaffrey is missing a pinky toe. That team knows how to manage the clock. They know how to keep the down and distance within reach, and they know how to score in inopportune times. That defense comes in clutch against Philadelphia late in the game in the fourth quarter. It ultimately wins them the football game. They just know how to rally around the football, and that's what you need in a complete football team in the NFL.
Yeah, I think the Patriots, we're going to find out a lot about Drake May this week. He is playing one of the toughest defense in the NFL in the Texans. And not just the front line. I mean, that's an elite secondary as well. So we're going to find out a lot about his consistency and can he find the open guy. I just don't feel – I'm not all in on the Patriots, and maybe that's Vrabel hate watching. I'm not sure. But I just don't – with their schedule, they've played a total of 3 playoff teams, and that includes the win last week against Los Angeles. So in the regular season, they played 2. I'm just not in on Mike Vrabel and the Patriots just yet. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I'm just not in. The 49ers, I can get more behind because I think that's a team with an elite talent with Christian McCaffrey, and I think Brock Purdy's playing good football. They just have so many injuries. I'm not sure if that is going to, come back to get them this week. And this is the week I think it can come get them against a divisional rival, a team with a good defense, a good quarterback in Sam Darnold, the receiving leader in Jackson Smith and Jigba. This is the week I think it could come get them. But as I've talked about before with Robert Saleh, I'm convinced you and I could go out there and play edge rusher and we'd look good doing it with him.
Yeah, he just knows how to get football players to play football. As simple as that. I mean, Fred Warner not going to play this week, possibly looking for a next week return. Yeah. But you're grabbing guys out of your roster and like you just said, making them into players that you never thought they could be. And that's something that you got to really grab at when it comes to the 49ers, and they just rally guys around the football. Simple as that. Is there any else way to describe the 49ers in that aspect, Christian?
I don't really think so. I think I do agree 100% with what you're saying about the Niners. I love that team. Yeah. And I think that's probably who I'm cheering. The Niners and the Bills is who I'm cheering for. That would be my ideal Super Bowl for sure. What I was thinking just now, so we were talking last segment about Saleh and, he can't do an in-person interview right now because they're still alive. Is it almost better for the Titans if they lose this game, if you're a member of Robert Saleh FC like me and Connor are?
I mean, make it 3. I'm with you guys.
Okay. Yeah,
football club.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Football club. Yes.
Football
Soccer
club. Yes.
Yes. Love it. No, I'm with you on that. I mean, look, not for them to lose today, but the fact that I was looking up online in the break that you can hire somebody if they're still in the playoffs.
Okay. I wasn't sure on that either.
And
okay.
Let me read this off real quick. I don't know how honest Google is when it comes to this. You can interview an NFL coach to be your next head coach, even if they're still in the playoffs. But strict rules govern the timing, duration, in quotes, says max 3 hours, and location at the hiring team's city. So if they were to, let's say, hire him as the head coach during, virtual interviews, I guess they have a maximum of 3 hours to do this. I don't know. Or just a maximum of 3 hours to talk to the guy.
So basically you get him in the building. Don't let him leave without a contract.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
615-737-1025. 3280 says if they're being serious, they need to hire McCarthy today. He one of those, I would guess. McCarthy is, I think, the safest possible hire you could make.
Yeah.
That's a guy that I think could get you straight to surface level. But beyond that, I'm not sure. I don't think he could immediately turn this team into a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, I was asking Chase about this question yesterday when it comes to Jason Garrett and Mike McCarthy. I don't think Jason Garrett's a candidate. I'm just saying in this aspect, we were talking about Babe Laufenberg describing the two candidates, and he mentioned how Jason Garrett was able to develop Tony Romo and eventually Dak Prescott, and you have Mike McCarthy come into the fold and capitalize on what was already there. Yeah. And I'm wondering if you bring in a guy like Mike McCarthy, can he capitalize on the current roster that was given to him? That's my only hesitation, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because under McCarthy, sure, when he was in Green Bay, he kind of had the evolution of Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. You could say Rodgers was kind of his guy in a roundabout way. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's worked with two good quarterbacks in Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott. His opinion of Cam Ward obviously matters.
Yeah.
He's an offensive guy. He knows what a good quarterback looks like. So I wouldn't hate the hire. I just think it's the safest possible hire you could make. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. The Game National Sports Network is your home for the College Football Championship. Monday night, catch all the action on 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan as number 10 Miami takes on number 1 Indiana. College Football Championship coverage on 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks and Parman Tractor and Equipment. Coming up next, it's time for me to take to the podium. Newt's Notes coming up next right here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Ah, yes. The most electrifying segment in sports talk radio. It's time for me to take the stage. The great one, as they call me. Or is that Mitchell Firkins guy on Twitter that no one actually likes? The guy that gets weird tattoos. Like he got a tattoo of Buck's signature, and he says Jim Wyatt's next. It's a weird guy.
I need to look this up. I don't think I've seen this.
He gets very offended at stuff like that, though. So hopefully he doesn't come after me, but that's okay.
You never know. Your face might be next.
I wouldn't know whether to be honored or terrified.
I think you should be honored.
Congrats. You got my face on your left ab. Way to go. All right. Let's talk about baseball, Frazier. Well, we got to talk about this because it is very important. So Kyle Tucker, probably the top free agent remaining, I would say at this point.
Yeah.
Top outfielder, played for the Cubs last year, helped them get to the playoffs and lose in the wild card to the Brewers, but that's okay. That's just what the Cubs do. He is signed with none other than the Los Angeles Dodgers. Are we surprised? No. They're paying him $60 million over the span of like 5 years.
Yeah, his AAV is $60 million, $240 million total.
Insanity. So I'm petitioning baseball. This is long overdue, but baseball needs a salary cap because quite honestly, I'm tired of seeing top talent defect over to Los Angeles or New York because the biggest markets pay the biggest salary, and Los Angeles is the biggest market on the planet. There's no one close. So I'm tired of watching the Dodgers just dominate year in and year out. And look, I have nothing against winning culture, but when you pay guys that are considered the top guys in the MLB with zero repercussions, zero financial repercussions whatsoever. I mean, you've got Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. The best player in the world right now is Shohei Ohtani, and you're playing him two ways. You got Kyle Tucker. You've got Teoscar Hernandez, Will Smith, who's probably the best catcher in the league. And you're paying all these guys whatever they want with zero repercussions. You can't do that in any other league. You can't do that in the NFL or, I don't know, the NBA is pretty weird, but you can't do that in hockey. You can't do that in soccer.
North American soccer.
MLS. MLS, which is good. But it just doesn't make sense to me why we don't have a salary cap in baseball. Because I look around the league and I see other teams that are historical franchises, like our team, that aren't doing this, that are entrusting it with their young guys and refusal to pay people because that's the old style. But they found this loophole in the MLB league. And that's, you can pay whoever you want by backloading their contract. Look at Shohei Ohtani's contract.
Deferred it.
He is deferred for like 10 years, and then he gets payday, and it's hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. This is the loophole. And I know they won't do anything about it because Rob Manfred, the commissioner he is, I know, wants eyes on the product. And look, baseball has come a long way. Baseball has developed into a very enjoyable sport over the last few years. I have always been a baseball fan, but the recent years and adding the pitch clock and adding replay, it's made baseball more fun because they're not hurting themselves anymore. This is the one thing remaining that I think kills baseball. No salary cap. Because you look at the Dodgers and you look at the Yankees. Yeah, if you're a fan of those teams, you're over the moon. Everyone else has to watch this. Everyone else has to suffer because all the all-stars are headed out west or up east to Los Angeles or New York just because those are the two biggest markets and they pay the biggest salary.
I mean, you're spot on. And to give a little more clarification on Ohtani's deal, that's 10 years, $700 million, deferred 680 of that. So he's only getting paid $20 million in his 10-year contract, that is. So after his 10 years is up, he'll get paid that $680 million, which is ridiculous.
I'm sorry. It was the Cubs lost in the divisional round. I don't know what I was thinking.
That's okay. I know what you meant. They lost to the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who they beat in the wild card?
I believe.
Padres.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's another free agent that's out there, Luis Arraez, a second baseman.
Future Dodger, I'm sure.
I mean, he's a great switch hitter. But to your point, though, Connor, you're right. This is a problem in Major League Baseball that I think won't be answered until after 2027, which is inevitably
when Manfred leaves.
Well, no, Manfred's contract ends in 2029 or 2033, I think, something
but
like that.
But he has said this will be it for him, right?
I believe so. He said it on countless times, but again, I could see him just going through the rest of his contract. But like this MLB project they have going on right now will for sure go into a lockout in 27. We will not have baseball then. So my biggest thing to baseball fans, enjoy the WBC this upcoming spring in March, because that's basically the best baseball you're going to get for the next year and a half.
Most equal baseball, at least.
Yeah.
To where it's actually a level play. It sucks for fans of small market teams like myself, because I'm a Reds fan, obviously.
Well, your owner won't pay anyone anyway.
Well, that's the thing. They tried to. I don't know if y'all saw the story that came out yesterday. They offered Ellie the biggest contract in the history of the franchise. He's like, nah, I'm good. And you know why he's probably like, nah, I'm good? Because of stuff like this. Because he see how much Kyle Tucker, of all people, can get from the Dodgers. Not that Kyle Tucker's bad, but he's not worth what they're paying him, obviously. They're just paying him that because they can.
Yeah. I mean, there's no rule. And I don't blame the Dodgers for doing this, because I would do it too if there was no rule. But it's killing baseball, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be a completely dead product because of this, but it is frustrating. Let's get to some of your texts on this. My good buddy Gunner says it was the divisional round, but trust me, Cubs fans would have helped Tucker pack his bags. That seems to be the common theme here. Is he seems like kind of a locker room cancer.
And also, too, the production on the field, to me, sure, it's great to see him hit the long ball. He's the next Anthony Rendon, man. I really do think so. Like, this is a concerning contract. I think it might bite the back end of the Dodgers.
Anthony Rendon's done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No one's going to pick him up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this contract style of whatchamacallit, Kyle Tucker.
I mean, is he worth that at his age?
No.
Is he worth that much money?
At the age of 30, I wouldn't pay anybody over that at all. No. And look, you mentioned Teoscar Hernandez being in that lineup. I was telling this to Chase yesterday. I think the Dodgers will move off of him in some aspects because, again, after this whole report came out about him signing a $240 million deal, supposedly the Dodgers have the best pipeline farm system in all of baseball right now.
Of course they do.
So, look, the one guy they're missing out of this equation, Tarek Skubal. And that's a guy that, obviously won the arbitration deal this past, week or 2 weeks ago. I think Jake was informing me about that.
I'll tell you exactly who is headed out there as soon as his rookie contract ends up.
Let's hear it.
Paul Skeens.
Yeah, that is a possibility. I mean, they could do it now. I mean, might as well just rip the Band-Aid off.
I mean, it just has, the whole thing with him and Livy done.
See, I see him as more of a Yankee personally.
Yeah.
It's one of those two.
It's definitely one of those two. I kind of see him as more of a Yankee. He just fit, like when I picture a Paul Skeens in one of those two uniforms, I kind of picture him more in a Yankee uniform. I don't know why.
You know what would really be nice? If Paul Skeens somehow grabbed a deal from the San Francisco Giants.
Let's see here. Josh in Clarksville says, can't have a salary cap without a salary floor. This is true.
Yeah.
Salary floor. I mean, you got to start a basis of a minimum contract and then, work your way up. So,
I mean, what would you say a floor would be? Not $500K, maybe like $1 million, $2 million,
$850.
$850. Okay.
I think that's fair. I think the minimum salary in the NBA is $750.
Okay.
So I would say for your young prospects and your late round draft picks in the majors, at least $750.
Yeah.
$850.
And again, in the world of a salary cap for Major League Baseball, if it were to go, and it seems like it's going in that direction, you look at teams like the Marlins, the Rockies.
Yeah.
I would include the Diamondbacks in this conversation a little bit. I know they have Corbin Carroll and so forth, but
and Nolan
Arenado.
Enjoy old man Nolan.
If you add a salary cap into this, those teams that are normally the farm systems for other perennial teams in the Major League Baseball, like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, you now hold on to those young players, and you actually have a decent core to work baseball.
And you get to develop them.
Yeah, and you're going to have a good product on the baseball field.
Yep.
Funny enough.
Let's see. 8586 says, being a Pirates fan, I'm used to getting poached. That's all right. I mean, we could do a whole list of Pirates players that have just been ripped from that franchise and become successful elsewhere.
Even the Cincinnati Reds. We were just talking about that today, Christian.
Yeah. Brian Hayes is my guy. On the field, he's my guy. At the plate, we got some work to do, but it's okay.
Well, the Pirates, they poached David Freese from me, who wasn't that good, but he's still a hero to me. So
he's a St. Louis legend.
So that one moment is worth 1,000 moments of some franchises. So.
Yeah.
Josh in Clarksville says the Dodgers are not ruining the game. They are, in fact, helping. They just have the better ownership and front office of all sports. Nothing is stopping other owners from doing what the Dodgers are doing. Team payroll, salary floor.
All right. Let me You go ahead. You address this first because I'm about to lose my cap.
I wouldn't say they're helping the sport. The only way they're helping the sport is if there is, in fact, a motion for a salary floor and cap coming soon. And it doesn't seem like there is. So, I mean, if this were going on in football, you people would be just losing your minds. If, I don't know, let's say the Dallas Cowboys decided, well, we're going to have Josh Allen and, I don't know, Bijan Robinson and, who's the best receiver in the league? Who would you say?
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Or Puka Nacua.
Well, yeah, that's probably about right. We're going to have all this elite talent, and we're going to pay them whatever the heck we want. I understand they're taking advantage of, a system that is clearly flawed. But to say that they're helping baseball by doing this, I think that's completely off base.
And to the follow-up text from Josh here saying forcing teams to spend $125 to $150 million per year to field the team can't punish players seeking what they're worth. I get to that second point about, seeking what the player's worth is, but you can't.
You're paying them more than what they're worth.
Yeah, you can't be forcing teams to spend $125 to $150 million a year because that's another form of I wouldn't say a salary cap, but it's a form of spending a certain allotted amount of money to field the team. I'm saying if you actually have a salary cap, you have to work within those confines of the financial structure. If you give them a lot of the amount of $125 to $150 million, it's the same thing as a cap, just at a higher number. I don't think you can do that because, look, I'll compare this to golf with Live Golf, prime example. You have a lot of golfers that went from PGA to Live Golf because they knew that they could cash in and eat the cake and then possibly come back and play in PGA and eat it while you're in front of all the other golfers.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the story right now with Brooks Koepka?
Correct. That is. And
Look at me knowing golf things.
Big golf guy here.
Good
so
job.
Proud of you.
Good
Wow.
job, me. Way to go.
The fact that Brooks Koepka has now come back to PGA and has said, you know what, I'm done with Live Golf. He's made his money in Live Golf and said, hey, I want to win championships now. That's kind of what MLB is kind of leaning that way right now. You have the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're getting paid whatever money you want in the world. And, of course, they can do that, one, because they're on the West Coast, and they have all the Japanese viewership for Ohtani, Sasaki, Yamamoto. They're making all their revenue back in jersey sales and ticket sales and viewership sales when it comes to all that. That's why they can do all that.
And that's why they're on national TV all the time.
And
because it's a must-see TV for those people.
Yes. And then you look at the Chicago Cubs who signed Imanaga as a pitcher who no longer is there. One, because the Cubs are restructuring deals and they go and sign Alex Bregman, do a long-term deal there. But again, that goes to the point of your geolocation and trying to figure out how you can attract other fans from different markets. If you have Imanaga and you let him walk because the viewership overseas is not there, I'm sorry. And I'm not saying that's solely the issue, but when you have guys like that, that's kind of what drives your money. So that's another reason why there should be a salary cap.
Let's see. This is an interesting text right here. 2181 says, what would be fair? It's not fair that there's even a team in Pittsburgh or Colorado. Of course, LA and New York have more money to invest just because of the amount of people flocking to those games. That's kind of the point we're making here. Yeah, it's the big market teams capitalizing on a flawed system. I think we've established that. But you're right. I think a lot of it has to do with the international audience. Let me ask you a question. What makes the NFL so fun?
There's a lot of just difference of teams. I mean,
exactly. It widespread talent.
Thank you. Yeah.
Widespread talent is what makes the NFL fun to me.
Parity.
That's the word.
There you go. That's the word.
Yeah.
Is there parity in Major League Baseball right now?
No.
Is there parity in the NFL right now?
Absolutely.
Is there parity in the NHL right now?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So
is there parity in Major League Soccer? Yeah, probably so.
You would know more about that than me, but I'd probably agree with you.
Yeah.
Is there parity in the NBA? Who cares? No.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I feel like the New York Knicks are like the Tennessee Volunteers. Are they back? Maybe. They won the.
Is that like a year-to-year thing?
I think.
Okay, then they are the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
I didn't mean to give it.
No. I'm agreeing with you. So
the city might. It's like Philadelphia. The city might burn down if they win a game.
Yeah, but you're right. There is no parity in Major League Baseball,
and that's the point I'm making. We got to create parity.
Yeah.
Enforce a salary cap in the MLB. 615-737-1025. Hour number 2 coming up next, and it looks like I'm going to have to voice disappointment in a lot of you. We'll do that coming up next, right here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2 of the Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. We are broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. And look at that. I didn't even have to read it. I just memorized it. I'm getting good at this whole radio thing.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, but I'm just
pretty
kidding.
Good.
Connor Newton, good. Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you. And the time has come. Well, I guess there's still 10 minutes. So we still have a chance here. The weekend poll. The question is out. What is your opinion on professional wrestling? 57.6% of you say, I hate it. It's fake. While the other 42.4 say, I absolutely love it. You still got 9 minutes to vote, so we still have 9 minutes to win this war. But allow me to just go off on those that hate it. I understand that you don't like scripted things. But how is this any different from your favorite TV show? How is this any different from you sitting down and watching The Office? It's not. It's scripted. It's predetermined. And I would like to tell you that the millions
and millions.
Thank you. You guys both knew it.
Wow, we did that at the exact same time. We were synced up there. That was perfect.
I would like to. You guys knew. I didn't even have to tell you anything. The millions and millions outweigh the vocal minority. Just listen to this. This is the pop that some of these superstars receive. We'll start, of course, with the best in the world. Listen to the pop that happens every time this man comes out. I mean, that's an arena of 30,000 people just singing Cult of Personality. You mean to tell me that people don't care about
chills.
that?
I mean, I got chills right now.
Oh, I've got more. Trust me. But you mean to tell me that people don't care and people don't admire these wrestlers and these superstars? It's pop. It's beyond sports. And look, I'm not one of those people that thinks this is a sport, but it's pop culture defining. It truly is, because there are a lot of things that you take from that and you bring it to the real world. I do it all the time. And maybe that's because I'm obsessed, but it's just something that I feel. No one does that. Like, that is the equivalent of being at a college football game and singing the fight song. It's just something that you feel. It's an experience. There's nothing like being there. So you can say it's fake and it's scripted, but there are heroes and there are villains. Here's a look at what John Cena was, what it sounded like when John Cena came out his first time as a heel. Again, 30,000 people united in hating this man. Notice how they kind of liked him at first, and then they decided, oh, wait, he's a bad guy. We got to boo him.
That's my favorite part of that. They were like excited for like the initial shock of, hey, we're getting to see Cena as a heel for like the first time ever. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're supposed to boo him. Boo!
I mean,
it's like the muscle memory you try to just reverse.
Heroes and villains, right? It's the equivalent, again, of being at a college football home game. You're cheering for your team. They're the good guys. And then out come the bad guys on your home field. Unanimous boos. It's the storylines that are created. It's the people and the characters that develop. This was character development at its finest. For years and years, Cena was the babyface good guy. Finally, he was a bad guy. And the whole crowd let him know. And I know what you're thinking. The two I've used are established stars. We've known them for years. And of course, they're going to get reaction because we've grown up with them. How about a new star? A new guy that has been on the roster for about, 3 weeks. Listen to the reaction last night on SmackDown Trick Williams got. Whoop that trick. Wow. Again, 30,000 people creating their own heroes, just like we do in sports, just like we do in football. We create our own heroes. So you can say that the product is fake. You can say that it's all choreographed, which is true. It is. But the entertainment value it provides, the moments it provides, the environment it provides are what make it worthwhile to me. I voiced my argument. Let's get to some of your texts. 8586 on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Again, 615-737-1025 says, as a kid, I loved wrestling. Grew out of it, That being said, I don't bash it and will watch it with my kids so they can enjoy it like I did. That's how I think my dad was. He grew up with it and then kind of grew out of it. And then we started watching it and now he's all in again. So I think that's kind of it. Devin and Dixon, he sent this at the beginning of the show, but I'll read it now because it's relevant. He says, of course, my phrase, let me talk to you. I absolutely love professional wrestling. It's fun. We know it isn't real, but it's entertainment.
Spot on.
I mean, I rest my case. I think that's as convincing as an argument I can make.
I'm in the camp right now of like, and from a family that actually my grandfather was a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Grew up around it, grew up in not currently when he was a wrestler, but obviously the retired aspect of it, hearing all the phenomenal stories and so forth. But the fact that it is a staple in American culture is something that should be talked about a little bit more. But yeah, I'm in the phase of was all about it as a kid, phased out of it, kind of still phasing out of it. I keep in touch with it from time to time.
I keep you in touch.
Yes, you do. And I thank you both for that because
I feel like we both do.
Yeah, we both do
a good job of
the
that.
whole Jim
Yes.
Cornette. Yes. It's dragged me back in because there are a lot of PBS documentaries of Jim Cornette talking about the territory days of like,
I will live to piss on Vince Russo's grave. It's my favorite quote.
To that point, I mean, it's just how do you not love wrestling, and just I don't know, the Jerry King Lawler book that came out, it drags me to,
because your grandfather's mentioned isn't
he is. Isn't he? Yeah, he's mentioned it as a main event guy in that book. So, but no, that book, also the movie Memphis Heat, that was with the Mouth of the South and Jerry King Lawler. They both were directors on that.
What was the movie that came out a couple years ago about the Von Erichs?
Oh, yeah.
Iron Claw.
Iron Claw.
It was good. Very
tremendous.
Sad. It was very good. Very sad, but very good.
Thankfully, I kind of knew most of the story going in, but imagine somebody that just has no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I don't want a spoiler alert, but
why did they do that? Craig on our text line says scripted and fake aren't the same thing. Those guys and girls are still out there putting their bodies on the line. They're athletes.
Amen.
They're still athletes.
Spot on.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. Let's go to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com and welcome in Adam in Portland to our show. Adam, what's going on?
I follow you guys a lot and I like this show a lot. I'm going to disagree with everything you're saying right here, dude. I think it sucks so bad. Especially when you grew up, it's not like it's not like a regular show. Grey's Anatomy's not telling you that these are real people that are getting cut open. No, dude, this is people who lied for years about it. And then once it came out, it's like, okay, how can we still stand? We'll just hopefully keep our audience from before. And they just know now for a fact that we have razor blades in our hands and that's how we get cut. And all that, dude. So I grew up loving Sting and Hulk Hogan and all that. I played NWO versus WCW. I thought it was fun. And then once they actually came out with it, it's like, this sucks, man. I can't believe there's a grown person in the world that loves this. And so, to each his own, do whatever you want to do. But for me personally, I just can't see how you can make the comparison between a regular show and something like this. That's all.
I appreciate the call, Adam. I do. I'm sorry that I am the grown person that enjoys this.
It's a grown man's cinema, and as it should be.
A grown man's soap opera. Let's go back to our phone lines and welcome in Chris on the phone line who's been waiting patiently. Chris, go ahead.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing this morning?
We're doing well.
Hey, I'm growing up wrestling. I grew up watching wrestling, the Memphis wrestling that came in Nashville. Just always a big fan. And what I try to tell people today is these guys are doing this in front of 25,000 people, night in and night out, and it's one take. If you're going to the movie theater and watching a Tom Cruise movie or Brad Pitt, they're taking countless takes. These guys are putting their bodies on the line every night, and they're doing it in one take. I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great point, Chris. This is all live and of course they practice before, but so does every team.
I would also like to thank Chris for when he answered the phone. He said, "I want to talk about wrestling, brother." So tremendous job there as well.
I mean, look, I want to go back to Adam's point about what we call in the business kayfabe, and that's them lying to you and telling you it's real when it's actually not. To use a Vince McMahon quote, it's the nature of the business. It's just how it is. And it's worked for years. They're kind of peeling back the curtain a little bit now with this whole Unreal documentary, which is very, very divisive in the older audience hates it. The younger audience loves it.
Divisive in the locker room too.
Very divisive in the locker room. A lot of them won't do it. So I watch the show. I understand why it's hated because it does kind of reveal things that, maybe kind of ruin the speciality of it. Like the last season they did the whole thing on Cena's heel turn. And I thought that was really, really interesting. A lot of people were like, let it be what it is. It was shocking, and now it's not anymore. So
my issue with professional wrestling currently, and it's not the product, it's the stuff around the product when it comes digitally. I think WWE does a really good job, and also other, affiliate wrestling promotions. They do a really good job at promoting their fights, right? Their cards.
Yeah.
My biggest issue is social media has really hurt that in some aspects, like talking about storylines and the podcast now that talk about, well, how's this storyline going to develop? Like for that point, when you're a kid before the cell phones and smartphones and social media era, wrestling was at its purest form.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate now because I feel like we've opened Pandora's box and you can't go back.
Yeah.
But you try to encapsulate that right now in today's modern wrestling. And it's tough to do that.
I mean, well, before the show, what were we watching? We're watching some kid terrified of a dad playing the Undertaker theme song, turning the lights off. He thought it was real. That's why it's at its purest form when you're in childhood. But as an adult, you can learn to appreciate it as well because you see what goes into it. And you see kind of the adult themes. And you can appreciate the Attitude Era a lot more, which I wasn't around for, but it's a good time. Before we go to the break, Eric is on our phone line wanting to weigh in on the conversation. Eric, go ahead.
Hey, guys, one quick thing, what you said last hour. I, too, am a big baseball fan. I love L.A. De La Cruz, love the Reds. And you wonder one of these days when his contract is up, if the Reds are going to be able to afford him. I believe we're eventually headed for a work stoppage, guys. I hate to say that. And also all that's going to affect baseball in Nashville. But as far as wrestling goes, I'm a big fan of wrestling, too. One of the things, though, I worry about, though, is the WWE, because of TKO, it's pricing the average fan out of the market. They're paying such insane prices, and I guess as long as they'll get the sellout crowds of people for them, people will go. But it's just sad that the average fan can't go. I love it so much. Of course, what's going to be interesting, I guess you guys probably saw, last night, the WWE NXT is coming on Friday night, I guess in a couple of weeks for the NXT live show. But, of course, that's going to be on the same time as SmackDown, so it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be at that event and who's going to be at home watching the TV show or taping or whatever. I mean, I love wrestling, but it has just gotten so insane with just the prices and the cost of tickets to go to the shows. It's just, I'm just not able to go anymore unless I win the tickets. Guys, as always, it's good to talk to you guys. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
Good to hear from you, Eric. Appreciate the call. Yeah, they're pricing out the common man, and fortunately, I get my tickets elsewhere for free. But they are pricing out the common man. And I have been a victim of that before.
And I think that's why you see a lot of old WWE fans like myself that, we all grew up in the Raw is War, Attitude Era type thing.
Yep.
To where you want that aggressive wrestling, storyline. And I get that hankering of UFC, MMA, and you get that right now. And I go, of course, they're all owned by the same group, TKO. You look at Paramount Plus right now, they're doing their little $8.99 a month deal where you can get everything on Paramount Plus along with UFC, and that's including the pay-per-view events. And because WWE is also owned by TKO, I could see that transitioning all onto one platform because PBR, something we do here on the radio station, they're also owned by TKO Group. So I wouldn't be surprised eventually if that
was... Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if all these TKO Group entities group up onto one platform, which is what it looks like.
Yeah. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. A couple of Titans tidbits to give you before we go to the break.
Ooh.
This comes from Diana Rossini. Atlanta isn't the only second interview on Kevin Stefanski's schedule. I'm told the former Browns coach also plans to meet with the Titans again. That interview is scheduled for Sunday. Also coming from Paul Kaharski, Mike McCarthy is currently in the Titans HQ as we speak interviewing. So just a couple of tidbits to give you on the Titans head coaching search. But coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit of Preds. I have a philosophical question that was kind of inspired by Adam Vingan. Adam and I talked about the other day, could Nashville be mature enough to handle a rebuild? Whether that's the Titans or the Preds. I want to focus specifically on the Preds coming up next and ask the question, are the Predators closer to rebuilding, or closer to contending for a Stanley Cup with this current group? I feel like it's going to be a fun discussion. We'll get to that on the other side on the Weekend Huddle right here on 102.5 The Game. Oh, yeah. This whole album, aside from like one song, no skips. This is summer of 2013 right here. I remember as a 9-year-old just cruising around on the bike blasting.
You were 9 in 2013?
Yeah.
Will you be spending the $200, $300 to go see him at Nissan Stadium?
No.
I don't blame you.
It's too much.
Oh, he had a new album come out, didn't he?
It will in end of February.
Okay.
He's coming here in Nashville and playing Nissan Stadium, $288 for nosebleed seats.
All right. Unpopular opinion. I am a guy, if there is a concert going on at Nissan Stadium, get you a lawn chair, go to the pedestrian bridge, just hang out and listen.
Yeah.
I know it sounds
That's not a bad idea.
That actually might not be a bad idea.
I know it sounds kind of
be a lot cheaper than the alternative.
Yeah,
that's
look,
for sure.
I mean, you got to pay for parking. That's it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, you go get 4 or 5 guys or 4 or 5 people in your group, get some lawn chairs, tailgate, find a patch of grass, get a tent, and just listen to some music. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. You'll hear a little echo, but you'll know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like have you seen that video of those 3 girls outside the Taylor Swift concert?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say that.
And she's like, this is the song that saved my life or whatever. And then she just starts like ballistically crying.
No.
I'm like, Taylor Swift fans are weird.
I got to find this.
But anyways, Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you. And I have a philosophical question for you all. Are the Predators right now on January 17th, 2026, after what we saw last night against Colorado, 7-3 victory against the NHL's best, they give them their first loss in regulation in Ball Arena in Denver. Are the Predators right now, as we speak, closer to rebuilding or contending for a Stanley Cup? I think there are arguments on both sides, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts here.
The Nashville Predators, and I'm not just saying this because being a company man, this team, if they have a wild card 1 spot before the deadline, need to push all their chips in the middle. I'm not saying wager the future like people have mentioned in the past, but if there's a way you can kind of offload 1 or 2 pieces on this roster that can help you out in the long term of things, I don't see why you wouldn't. Because right now this team, after last night's 7-3 performance, how do you not say this team can't compete with the best of the best in the league? Because that is the best team in the league right now. You take down Edmonton, you take down Colorado, and look, if they can somehow take down Vegas, tonight, that goes to show you those are the top 3 teams. If Nashville were to be in a wild card spot, if it's a wild card 2, more than likely they're going to take on Colorado. If it's a wild card 1 spot, you're more than likely going to play either Edmonton or Minnesota or Vegas. Yeah. So you're looking at those teams and saying, yeah, if we win these, we can compete with the best of the best. So for me, I'm not just saying it to be a company man, but I am in the camp of this team can compete for a Stanley Cup this season.
I tend to agree with you. I tend to believe, I don't think they're, Stanley Cup favorites right now. Absolutely not. If they get the wild card 2 spot and they have to play Colorado, I think Colorado will win in 5 and 6. That's just my opinion. But I think in the long-term thing, the long-term scheme, I should say, they've got pieces that are developing that I think are capable of taking them far, far places. Now, to play devil's advocate, if you are to, bring in a bunch of veteran pieces, let's say they are in that wild card 1 spot, and they do go all in. If you are to bring in some veteran pieces and offload some young contracts, like I don't think Luke Evangelista would be one of those people, but maybe Michael McCarron, Fedor Svechkov maybe comes to mind. Guys like that. I think you're jeopardizing your future. Like, look at some of the top teams around the league. Colorado, how many prospects do they have? Not a lot. Edmonton, how many prospects do they have? Not a lot. Dallas, how many prospects do they have? Not a lot. You get my point here. They're working on present success, which is all good and fun. The Panthers are the perfect example of this. They have a lot of old contracts, and they're dominant talent, but in the long run, they're going to suck. And this kind of goes back to the conversation Adam and I had earlier this week. I'm not sure the casual fans in Nashville are mature enough to handle that, but that's a separate conversation. I'm not advocating for one or the other. I'm just posing the question, which do you think is closer? And right now, Frazier, I tend to agree with you. I think they're closer to being Stanley Cup contenders than they are to bottom of the barrel rebuilding.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to the moves they made with grabbing Marchessault, Stamkos, and Shea. And out of those 3 right now, I would say Stamkos has been the only consistent go-to there. I mean, I mentioned Brady Shea at the start of the show saying how, there were some things in last night's game where it concerned me going forward.
If there's a mission for the trade deadline for the Preds, I think that's it. Offload Jonathan Marchessault somewhere.
I mean, he's $5.5 million right now on his deal. So
it just hasn't worked the way they thought it would work.
I mean, he's been injured. I mean, and he's just hadn't looked himself as of, what I'm talking about.
I don't have a problem with the so-called attitude issues that a lot of people bring up. I think that's kind of an overblown storyline, but from a talent perspective and staying healthy, he just hasn't been what I think this team needs.
I was hoping this would be the month because of Jonathan Marchand.
Johnny January.
I was hoping Johnny January just snap back into his old form and the Preds would really become a perennial team in their little wild card race, but doesn't seem like that, unfortunately. And
well, we got to come up with something else now. I mean,
March or so. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, who is it right? I mean, what's something with O'Reilly?
Well, I'll have to think about this one. This is where the alliteration comes into play. I got to think about it. We'll get back to it in the break, but yeah, I mean, that's where I stand on this Preds team. I think if they are in a wild card one spot, they deserve to definitely move some pieces around. And if Marchessault is one of them and it kind of helps them out in the long run, go ahead, because we've seen what this Nashville Predators team can do. We've seen what Barry Trotz can do when it comes to the deadline. He's been pretty, active in years past when it comes to, grabbing players. And I think you have to give it time. And again, the rebuild word, the retooling word, I don't like to use it. I know in shows past a couple of years ago, I think it was in the midday show when DVD was there. The word was called retrotsification. And again, Barry,
you could use the New York Rangers word they're using, retool. But it's not a rebuild, guys. It's not a rebuild.
I mean, to have a letter sent out like that is just,
it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. And they're going to offload Panarin, and that's and
you know where he's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Denver.
Yeah. You think Denver? I think maybe like Vegas.
It's going to be a top contender.
Yeah. That's
probably in Nashville.
Nashville.
Panarin. Can you imagine? That'd be so good. I guess the overarching question I want to ask you here, and we'll get to the flip side on the other side, but do you believe today that the Predators have the talent to potentially make a run?
Yeah. 100%.
I tend to agree with you.
100%. And now, look, I think they'll struggle against those teams, like I just mentioned, that they've been beating this past week.
With the right draw, I think we should say.
Yeah, with the right draw, not white draw.
The white draw.
Yeah, the right draw, I think that would definitely benefit them in some aspects. But I think they'll hit a few road bumps down the way. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And this team tends to right now, they're winning in the marathon. They're winning in this marathon. And the fact that they're not panicking, this team chemistry is starting to click. And again, you're getting supplemental play from guys like Luke Evangelista, who to me, I've said it since the beginning, since he signed his deal, has been nothing but living up to the expectation.
I agree.
I think he's lived up
despite that one fan.
Yeah. Despite the one fan out there that may
yo, Evangelista has to go.
Yeah. Nice little rhyming there, but
who has already exceeded his point total in his career.
That goes to show you that you got to put in the work. And it goes back to what Barry Trotz said on Tuesday. There was a lot of good nuggets from that interview that you need to go back and listen to if you're not on our Game National Sports Network podcast.
Where can I find
that? You can find it anywhere. Your Apple, your Spotify, even Audio Boom, where we distribute all that. So even on our website as well, theGameNashville.com. That's a good place to grab your podcast. But, Trotz even mentioned about Fedor Svechkov and how you can, develop that talent. And it's a tricky thing to develop young talent with the vets. And again, the Preds are playing a fine line with that right now. They're playing with a few guitar strings. They're tuning up the guitar. And when they get it finely tuned, I'm telling you, this band will be the best band on Broadway. It really will. What a great way to put it. Just saying, what a great way to put it.
You sound just like someone I know.
Oh, no.
And you know him too.
No.
And I'm not going to say it because
I take back what I just said.
I'll tell you in the break.
Okay.
It is what it is.
I'm just saying the Preds, I think if they're in a wild card one spot, I'll read it for the third time.
Great team.
They should
They're
push
in a great place.
All
They're
their
a great
chips.
Team.
Push all their chips in the middle. That's all I got to say.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. We'll get to your thoughts on the other side. And plus, I'll flip it around. Do the Predators have the prospects to initiate a rebuild? We'll do that coming up next. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on 102.5 The Game. There's that 90s country I ordered a week ago.
This was on deck a week ago, and we didn't get to it, unfortunately.
5 to 7 business days, according to Christian.
This is what it sounds like to tune up a band right here.
100%.
This is phenomenal stuff right here. This is a great song. I'm glad you put these in the podcast later, because it would sound really, really awkward if we're just discussing music without it actually being played. So there's that. Welcome back in Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton, with you, discussing if the Predators are closer to a rebuild or contending. And a lot of you have thoughts on it, so let's get to it. Devin and Dixon in our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, says, I've watched the Preds since day one, and I remember very vividly nights that Bridgestone Arena had only 6,000 people for a hockey game. We almost lost the team in that time period, and it was very stressful. We should be very proud of the fan base the Preds have built, consistently selling out games, and I think that the ownership group is afraid to pull a full rebuild because a lengthy rebuild may cost them a fan base we have built over the past 23 years. He later reiterates he misunderstood the assignment, but I think that answers the question pretty vividly. He says, I believe the Preds are contenders, and if we are going to move anyone, move Marchessault. Weston Hermitage on our text line says, watching them win last night was extremely exciting. I think they are clicking at the right time. I do expect them to make it into the playoffs this year. I do not think they get past the first round. I do think if they get past the first round, absolutely anything is possible. I agree with that. The problem is, in the wild card 1 and wild card 2 spot is going to be an uphill battle, especially if you're playing Colorado, which you showed you're capable of beating last night. And you've shown you're capable of beating Edmonton, and you've beaten Vegas, and who's at Minnesota. You've beaten all of these teams. You've shown you're capable of doing that. Problem is, contrary to popular belief, Adam Vingan, the NHL playoffs is unpredictable. And it is one of the hardest, if not the hardest, playoff to win in professional sports. So that should be a thing. But I want to play devil's advocate here. Let's say the Preds decide this isn't working and they've fallen out of playoff position and they decide to blow it up. Do they even have the prospects to initiate a rebuild and be competitive within a few years?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I was listening to you and Adam Vingan with Elliot Friedman. I think Adam was the one that brought it up. The Preds have, 8 of the top 40 young prospects under 23 right now?
Wow.
One of them being Igor Surin.
Yeah. Brady Martin,
Riker Lee.
Yep.
The kid from Penn State, Aiden Fink.
Fink Wink.
I believe he just got 100 points as a hockey player for Penn State recently. So I mean that's impressive. And then you go into the other aspects of goaltending and defensemen and so forth. I think this team does have a young core that we're kind of seeing right now. The Fedor Svechkovs of the world, the Luke Evangelistas of the world. You wonder if that's a glue guy that can develop into being a perennial staple point of this roster. I think they do have the pieces to do all that. You also look at Ozzy Weisblatt, who I think is a key piece for me. And when it comes to having a roster,
I mean, there are current guys on the roster right now that I think are key pieces.
Yeah.
We talked about one last segment. Luke Evangelista, Fedor Svechkov, Reed Schaefer, Ozzy Weisblatt, like you said. There are key guys. My thing is, and I hope they have him because they act like he is, and everything we've seen from him in juniors, he is. Is Brady Martin the guy? Is he your Connor Bedard or your Connor McDavid or your Nathan McKinnon, your number one center that you're going to bring in here and he is going to elevate you to a winning culture? Look, the Predators have a winning culture. Maybe not a championship winning culture just yet, just because of inexperience, but this is a team and a franchise that has been successful for years and years and years. A young franchise at that. My worry is if they do blow it up, that culture goes away because it goes with Forsberg and Yossi and O'Reilly.
I disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree because what the Preds are doing currently with a guy like Ryan O'Reilly and Philip Forsberg and Steven Stamkos, they've set that foundation. And I think a lot of those young guys understand that foundation because we're seeing that mold develop. And foundation meaning the culture. And the culture they're building is just being hardworking hockey players. And again, these veteran players like Stamkos, Forsberg, and O'Reilly, and even Roman Josi in this case, even though their time is dwindling with the Preds, I think they've already developed enough to where if they were to turn the page, that they would have enough under the belt. They really would.
But I don't believe in the devil's advocacy right now. I think this team is closer to contending than rebuilding. After what I saw last night and how they've turned it around this season from being one of the worst teams in the NHL to being playoff contenders, I think this team is a lot closer to contending for a Stanley Cup playoff, or not even a playoff, a Stanley Cup, than they are to just completely blowing it up. They've got pieces on this roster. And look, I'm not going to say they're outright favorites to win the Stanley Cup. They got to get past the first round of the playoffs. They got to get into the playoffs, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
But when they do, they got to get past the first round, which is probably going to be Colorado or Edmonton or Vegas. But I believe that with the tools they have on this roster and the way and the mentality that they've turned things around, I think they're capable of doing some damage.
100%. All right, look, I've said this countless times on these airwaves. It's hockey, I think, talking about parity earlier with Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Hockey, to me, leads the pack of parity when it comes to sports.
I would agree.
When you go to the NHL playoffs and you're one of the last seeds to get into the playoffs and you're thinking, we're playing with house money, guys. We're in this tournament because, or in the playoffs, that is, because we earned our spot. And sure enough, it's not a high spot, but we're in the dance. So at that point, when you're playing with house money, anything goes. You could go and break somebody's clavicle, as I like to say a lot, and you end up scoring 2 to 3 goals after that. That's how momentum shifts when it gets to the playoffs. So again, you get into the dance, you get the invitation, and you capitalize on it. It's not, oh, it's just a pity invitation and you go home. No, the NHL playoffs, you're there to compete.
Yeah, every team. That's why it's so much fun, because it's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Every team can compete at the same level.
And that's why I like prime example for the Preds. If they were to get in, they'd be one of those lower seeds. And you say you go up against the President's Trophy, inevitably it might be the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
To me, there's a little bit of some bad juju. And I talk about this with my uncle.
There's a curse.
There is. And we all know it. There's a President's Trophy bad juju curse when it comes to those number 1 overall seeds.
I mean, the Grim Reaper comes for every team. Sometimes it comes more than others. Look at the Winnipeg Jets right now.
Oh.
They are at the bottom of the league, and that was the team that won the President's Trophy last year.
How the tables have turned.
Wild stuff to me. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. One final segment here on this Saturday. We'll play our favorite game. Where are they now? Coming up next, Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Christian Skelton here with you on 1025 The Game.
Oh, this is my new favorite part of every Saturday.
All right.
Look at you hit that
Yeah,
note.
sorry.
Connor Newt.
That was impressive. Wow.
I do have the vocal pipes, and I've been holding them back from you all this time. but-
Tootsie's 3:30, folks.
Yeah. Joe's going to try and make me or Chase and Ricky are probably going to make me go to their bar and do karaoke now. So
You should do karaoke with those guys. They got some pretty good pipes.
that's the thing. I don't want to do drunken karaoke. I would do it for real.
No, they do regular karaoke. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They
Okay.
sound like a good barbershop quartet.
Which I have done before at a wedding.
Have you really?
Yeah, it was fun.
Do you wear the striped Oxford shirts?
No, they give
No.
us the hats.
Yeah, little like fedora hats.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
No suspenders though. We had to wear all black, and then they gave us the hats. But that was fun. Welcome back into Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game, as you all just heard me sing for the first time. So good on you. Let's play our favorite game and your favorite game too, because we've gotten a lot of reach out about this, how great it is, and how much you guys love it. So we're gonna keep playing it. The new revised version of Where Are They Now, which I guess is Where Were They, but the name's too good to change, so we're not gonna do that. Basically, we just go around in a circle, tell you where a player formerly played, and whoever gets it, gets it. Sound cool?
Fantastic.
All
Sounds
right.
tremendous.
Let's do it. And it is brought to you by,
Possibly you.
there we go. I went first, or actually, Frazier went first last. Christian, why don't you go first if you're ready?
I am ready. I can go first.
Okay.
So, our first player is a football player that played for the San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Washington Redskins / football team.
49ers, right?
49ers, Chiefs, Redskins / football team.
I don't think this is right. Is it Jamal Charles?
It is not Jamal Charles.
Offensive player,
Offensive player.
Elijah Mitchell.
It's Alex Smith. And it is exclusively Alex Smith because
Oh!
I needed an idea and I looked up and he was on the TV. So there you go.
What? How did I miss that?
I know.
Yeah, that's one of those where you hear it afterwards. So how am I this stupid? Yeah, I hate those.
I tell it to myself every day in the mirror.
Oh God, don't
How'd I
say
get
that.
here? You know, how'd I get here? Connor?
Oh, my turn?
Or either or, doesn't we want to
Oh.
go this way or what that way?
We'll go this way. It's
Okay.
Your turn.
All
Your
right.
turn.
We also have another football player on the list here. New Orleans Saints, Miami Dolphins, Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers, and wrapped up his career with the Buffalo Bills.
Say that again.
Let's just put it this way. Drafted in 2006, if that helps. New Orleans Saints, Miami Dolphins, Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers, and the Buffalo Bills.
I feel dumb.
Reggie Bush
Okay.
is my guess. Not confident at all if you can't tell.
Yeah, I'll go with Reggie Bush too.
And you both are correct.
Let's go.
It's
Look at
Reggie
that.
Bush. I think what really throws it off there is the Detroit Lions and 49ers, because I do recall Reggie Bush with like the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
Really?
I recalled the Dolphins and Saints. That's what helped me get that.
Yeah.
But I was like, the Bills, I don't know. You saying 2006 and then Saints, Dolphins, I was like, maybe it's Reggie Bush. It's a
Yeah.
good enough guess, I guess.
All right. So we're both on the board.
Yes.
Although I guess the points don't really matter. This is
Whose line is it
All right.
anyways?
yeah. It is. All right. I guess we'll wrap up round one with a football player as well. Let's see. Baltimore Ravens, Arizona Cardinals, Kansas City Chiefs.
Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Second team?
Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals. Ravens, Cardinals, Chiefs.
He's with the Ravens for a long, long time. Former teammate of Derek Mason's. If that helps you.
Okay. Ravens, Cardinals, Chiefs. It has to be a wide receiver.
I think I got it, but I'll let you go first.
No, please, Christian.
Is
You
it
got this.
Terrell Suggs?
Yeah, I think it is Terrell. Suggs.
It is T Sizzle.
I was literally over here. I had my mic off, but I was saying, what is his name? What is his name? I could not think of his name for the life of me. And I got there. I'm so happy with myself. Let's
T-Sizzle.
go.
Take this guy to trivia every Wednesday.
He's passed me at this point in terms of dominance.
I mean,
I had a
Christian
good
Skelton.
Linsanity run for the first couple of weeks, and then now I'm going through a slump.
The thing that makes this game difficult is trying to figure out how deep of a pool the other ones are going to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, how deep?
We could go so surface level.
Yeah. That's kind of what makes
Yeah.
it fun, too,
Yeah.
though. So,
It reminds you. But yes, it is T Sizzle,
Okay.
former teammate of one Derek Mason.
Christian Skelton.
Go for it.
okay, we have a hockey player here.
Oh.
Which is probably a former Predator because that's the only ones we know.
It is not actually.
Oh,
This is a man that started his career with the Blackhawks, then the Blue Jackets, and then the Rangers.
that's Artemi Panarin.
It is that we were just talking about. Good job.
That's great. Oh my goodness.
Look at that. I got a hockey one that wasn't a Pred.
I mean, that's Connor Newton back on his Linsanity run.
I'm back. And
Better
better than ever.
Okay, going back to football here. Played for 2 teams. Drafted in 2016 in the 5th round by the Kansas City Chiefs. And then did play for the Miami Dolphins and is currently a free agent.
Say it again. Sorry, I was looking at mine.
It's okay. Kansas City Chiefs and Miami Dolphins.
Tyreek Hill.
I was about to say it's got to be Tyreek Hill, right?
Yes, it is Tyreek Hill.
Okay. There we go.
Little soft toss.
A little soft toss.
Yeah.
Are we tied, Christian?
I have no idea.
Christian is actually up.
I assume I'm ahead since I got Terrell
I
Suggs.
think I have
but
2.
3-2.
And you have 3.
3-2-0.
All right.
Oh, 3-2-1. Sorry.
yeah, I bet say yeah.
This is a baseball player.
Oh.
Baseball, everyone. Pittsburgh Pirates, Washington Nationals, San Diego Padres, Cleveland Guardians, Miami Marlins, Arizona Diamondbacks, back to the Washington Nationals. I believe currently plays for the Twins. Yes. Add the
Is
Twins to
it
that list.
first baseman Josh Bell?
I was gonna say Josh Bell. I guess I'll go with Josh Bell.
It is Josh Bell.
Okay.
So well done.
Boom!
I was not because I did not know he played for the Guardians ever. So that's what
I
threw
was
me
think-
off. When you said that, it threw me off. I was thinking Josh Bell until you said that, but
I was thinking he was a Red at one point in his career.
that people try to talk that into existence every year. Reds fans try to do that every year. I don't understand why. I was like, okay, yeah, go Josh Bell, I guess.
Talk about a consistent baseball player. Josh Bell, anywhere he goes, averages 250 at the plate and always is a perennial first
Yeah.
baseman.
He's, the definition of an average player.
I mean, he's in
In a good way.
Yeah.
Not bad.
He's
Yeah.
in there with Santana, Fernando Santana or Francisco Santana. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's in the same running with him.
Yeah. Just consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Not your best guy, but not your worst. Delivers wherever he is. All right. Christian's turn.
I also have a baseball player.
Yes.
This man started with the White Sox, then the Marlins, and then the Angels.
Oh.
Let's see. White Sox, Marlins, and Angels.
I feel dumb again.
It's not Lucas Giolito because he played for the Red Sox for a little bit.
Yeah.
White Sox.
Oh, we can figure this out. Come on.
I assume he's a pitcher.
He is not a pitcher.
Not a pitcher.
Oh.
He is a shortstop.
Oh, that should really.
Oh. It's not Jonathan India because he plays for KC.
Yeah, he was a former Red.
Moniak is an outfielder, right?
I think so. It's
Yeah.
not him, but I
Okay.
think so.
Marlins and then the Angels. White Sox first.
Is he currently a Red?
He is currently a free agent.
Ah.
Oh.
He's trying to think of the name now.
Yeah, I see his face. Horrible infielder. He actually fell off. He had a 140 batting average. Oh. Adam Vaughn plays for Milwaukee. I'm so mad
Andrew
at
Vaughn.
myself. Yeah, Andrew Vaughn. Yeah, go ahead.
Tim Anderson,
Oh.
the star of 2021, and then
He got
mysteriously
in a
just
fight
sucked
with-
at baseball.
with
with
Ramirez.
Yep.
That's what I was
Was that 2 years ago that he did that?
Yeah.
Because he still somehow made the WBC team. I'm just like,
His career has been on a downward spiral ever since that he lost that fight. Or did he win or lose that
No,
fight?
he
do you
lost.
think?
he lost.
He
I can't really
lost.
remember.
Because Ramirez just came up with a left hook and
That's
said
right.
night.
All right. Frazier, and then I'll wrap us up.
Okay, well, wrapping up this round with another baseball player.
Oh, it's baseball mania.
Yeah, you guys got me in the mood. Venezuelan baseball player that is. Let's go San Francisco Giants, Boston Red Sox, back to the Giants, and the Atlanta Braves.
The Barbs.
The Barbs.
Currently with the Braves?
No longer. He's in a free agent right now.
Okay. Where's Chase McCabe when I need him?
This is a complete out of left field. He does not play left field, but this guess is out of left field. Raisel Iglesias,
Not a bad guess.
but not correct. Nah. Well, I tried.
I'm going to say Hae-Sung Kim.
2-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champion, if that helps. I'll give you guys another go at it real quick. 3-time world champion.
3-time world champion.
He was with the Braves for 1 season. So if that gives you any extra sense.
Who was the first team again?
The Giants and then the Red Sox.
It's not Jock then.
Back to the Giants and then to the Braves.
I have no idea.
Named after an animal. Big Panda. Pablo
Oh,
Sandoval.
Pablo Sandoval.
Sandoval.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a good pull.
yeah,
That's a
thank
good
you.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Connor.
Let me get in the spirit of today's matchup. I will bring you a former Wildcat.
Thought you were going to go former wrestler. WCW, ECW, SmackDown.
Played at
AEW.
Played at Kennesaw State. Was on the Ravens practice squad. Does anyone know who that actually is, by the way? He does.
I'm assuming it's Braun, right?
Yes.
Breaker. Yeah.
All right. Sacramento Kings, Golden State Warriors, Dallas Mavericks, Philadelphia 76ers. And if we want to go with his overseas teams, it's Rio Grande Valley Vipers and the Nanjing Monkey Kings. Real team, by the way.
The Monkey Kings. I'm going with Arnett Moultrie.
Okay.
Let me just name the most random Kentucky player I can think of. It's not Willie Cauley-Stein.
It is Willie Cauley-Stein.
No way.
Wow.
I cannot believe I just did that.
Christian
I
Skelton
pulled that
one.
out of
Look at
nowhere.
Wow.
Holy
He kind of
moly.
ran us today.
Dude, he dusted
What a-
off the
what a
cobwebs
job.
on that ladder. He just kept escalating.
I was like, what's the most random Kentucky player I can think of that was in the NBA? And that's what came up. And I
And
guess
that's what I thought
you
of too, I guess.
All right. That'll do it for us here on the program as we have just completely blown past our out time. But that's okay because ESPN Radio is coming up next. For Nick Frazier and Christian Skeleton, my name is Connor Newt saying so long. We'll see you Monday as Frazier and I are covering Next Man Up while Jake Lyman is out doing something. I think basketball. So we'll see you Monday from 9 to noon. And, of course, we'll see you next Saturday. We say so long. Hope you enjoyed the show. This has been the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game.
See ya.
Well, it changed the